Hi, Snow.
Hello and welcome to episode number 24 of Girlstreamers. Girlstreamers is a podcast bringing you the girl streamers that you know and love. Girlstreamers is a community that supports and promotes girls that stream. We are a bi-weekly podcast and we'll be introducing you to some amazing girl gamers and allow you, the viewer, to get to know some of your favorite streamers. My name is Nymphadora and I will be your host during this interview. And tonight we will be interviewing Kyountamed. So, if there's any time at the end, we will take questions from the audience in the channel. This is a live podcast, but we will also be available for download on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. What's up, Kyo? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I've actually had a pretty good weekend so far. How about you?
Eventful, obviously.
Eventful, exactly, because you just moved.
Yep.
Are you all moved in yet?
Nope.
Nope.
I got internet set up. I was like, I got a podcast. You better get this shit together. And I don't care. Throw the boxes in the garage. And that's where we're at.
Nice. You know, internet, that is definitely the most important thing here, right? Got to have that internet. I think I'd freak out if I didn't have my internet within a day after moving.
They set it up the next morning. They were really good.
Nice.
I called ahead and I was like, I need you to give me the earliest appointment. 7 a.m.? Sure, I'll wake up, probably.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that they brought you internet. Do you know how long it's going to take you to get moved in?
Well, it's funny because the internet, I didn't even have a line. So they just draped a line all the way across my property. So they're going to bury that next week. And after that, we're going to get a fridge and then hopefully a washer and dryer, which I think a fridge is a higher priority. So I think it'll be a while, but we'll see little by little.
Wow. So, wow. Yeah. Where are you guys at in the world?
We are in the middle of nowhere in Washington. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So you're like in the real woods up there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It is pretty though.
That is an area of the world I'd love to go visit. It is gorgeous up there. I want to go and actually see it for myself.
Well, I have a visitor's room now.
Score. Awesome. That's awesome. So how'd you come up with your screen name?
Well, Kyo is short for Kyoko, which was actually from the first game that I ever played. The character name that I made, I think it was a Chinese or Japanese MMO. So I named her Kyoko, and everybody called me Kyo because I've known everybody. I still have friends from that. I started playing that when I was 12. So I've had the nickname Kyo since I was 12.
Wow, nice.
So that was natural for me to stick that in there. And then I have a very untamed crew of 2 dogs and 10 birds that like to join me. So, yeah. So, I don't control them. They control me. So that's where that came from.
Nice. Well, I have actually been in your stream a few times, and you do have a pretty awesome posse there with all of the birds and all of the puppies. They're all so cute. You rescue all of them, right?
Yep. They're all little monsters. I love them. I love them. But they all have their story and needs.
I have one. I mean, technically both dogs are rescued, but our pit mix was a puppy when we rescued her. But the rescue, he was, I want to say, about 2 years old. And it was definitely tough. So I can't imagine having more than one, because when you rescue and they have those issues, that takes a lot of time.
But look at this face. Like, come
I
on.
know.
How could you say no to this little fuzzball?
That little puppy is so precious looking. He is so cute. Oh, he's so cute. I'm not talking about you. My dog walked over here. He's like, "Oh, are you talking about me? I'm cute."
He's like, treat? Food's where it's at.
Yes.
100%.
He sits in his crate for an hour before it's time to feed him. And I'm like, "No, dude, it's not time to eat."
He's like, it is. It is. My internal clock doesn't fail. Stomach said now.
So you were talking about the game that you played, the first game you ever played that got you into the gaming world. Do you remember the name of it?
It was PWI, Perfect World International, which is like, I tried World of Warcraft and it wasn't pretty enough at the time. So PWI suckered me in. So,
yeah. Wow. Nice. So if you were 12, wait, how old are you?
25.
God, I'm old. God, I'm old. Jeez, that's okay. That's awesome. I've actually never heard of this. Is it similar to WoW, but it's just
It's an MMORPG, so I guess it's kind of similar to WoW. I think WoW executed some things better, and it's definitely a free to play, pay to win
right
type of thing. So that's kind of what killed it for me in the end, because what 12-year-old has money? I played till I was like 18, but yeah, I don't know.
What 12-year-old has money? I mean, for real.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. So how long have you been streaming? And then what got you into streaming?
I've been streaming since October, so I think that 7 months about now.
Wow, so you're still pretty new at streaming.
Yeah.
You're still a little baby streamer. Oh my god, it's so awesome. I love it.
I got into it because it's kind of like my social outlet. Like, I'm not social. I'm 100% hermit, have my groceries delivered to the door, tell the guy to drop them, leave, and then I'll open the door and get my groceries and stick it back out. So, like, I don't do face-to-face social. It's very awkward when I try to socialize. So, you know, internet gaming, they kind of, like, accept me and I meet cool people and I'm like, this is great. Stay at home, stay in pajamas, dress up. I don't care. I get to do whatever. So it was appealing. My friends kept telling me to try it and I was scared to death of like being on camera and all the mean people on the internet. And they were like, we'll mod for you. We got you. And so I got a couple good mods and it's been great. So
that is so key, especially right now because it's troll season. I like to call summer troll season for streaming because I was new last year, so I've been streaming a little over a year, but I got to endure the school outage, you know, so all the trolls came out of the woodworks for it, so be prepared. But yeah, mods are definitely, whoo, yeah, man. Whoo, yeah. What's the worst time? I know this is in my questions somewhere, but since we're kind of talking about it a little bit, what's what is actually the worst time you've ever been trolled?
Other than being botted one time, where I had a whole bunch of bots pop in, and I was like, "What's going on?" I thought this was real. My mod was like, "I'm pretty sure it's a bot," and I'm like, "Ah, shit!" I got all excited and then all like upset, but. Other than that, I actually joined a group before Girlstreamers, and they, like, hazed me by creating fake accounts and saying really horrible things and giving me just a horrible experience. And they just trolled me, and then when I found out it was them, I left the group. I was like, that's not the kind of group I want to be part of. Thanks.
God, that is awful.
Yeah, and then I found Girlstreamers right after, and everyone was so nice, and I was like, yay! And it's hard for me to find girls I get along with that play games with me, so I was like, this is great.
Oh my god, that is absolutely terrible. Holy crap! Why? What? Why? What?
She's censoring herself right now, I think. Those quiet moments are the bleep, bleep.
I don't even know how to form a sentence right now onto why you would do that to someone I don't know.
Kind of like defeats the purpose of the Twitch groups.
Right.
Like, here, join this Twitch group where you have other streamers who support you and get you through hard times. Let's haze you. Like,
that's
okay.
not. No, that's not.
Apparently, you didn't want me. I'll just take my leave.
That's not okay, man. That is not okay. Oh my God. That, like, holy crap, man. That's, I mean, I don't want to know the name of this group because I don't want to bash people in any way, shape, or form. But that kind of behavior is not okay. Man, that is awful. I am so sorry that happened to you.
That's all right. I got through it. I found a good group where I fit in.
Well, we're glad to have you at Girlstreamers. Man. There's a lot of better communities out there, though. We are not the only good community, although personally, in my opinion, I think we're the best. But, you know. So I've been viewbotted before as well, and that's really annoying. And what I found out in my research on it is you have to pay to viewbot people.
Oh, wow. So they put effort into that.
Yeah, so that is literally people who are so privileged and have no money, have nothing to do with their lives other than just spend money on random shit that they go and pay to viewbot somebody's channel. And I'm just like...
What's stupid is it was at the end of my stream, so I just ended up shutting it down early. Nobody was in my stream. They didn't hurt or cause any, like... Okay.
Wow. Oh, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I don't know. Some people just have no lives. So, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever had happen to you on stream?
I cried on stream. So, that was pretty embarrassing, especially being, like, a new streamer to start crying on stream. And, yeah. We had these... Because the rental we lived in was horrible, and there was a rat infestation, so the landlord
That's awful.
Sent a company to put out traps and everything. They didn't even bait the traps, but they put in these little snap traps. And in the middle of the stream, I hear this, like, noise and this, like, rumbling around. And my thought just goes through my mind of this poor little creature. Like, whether I wanted the rats living with me or not, it was just this poor little creature that was, like, dying in my mind, and I just started bawling. And it took me a good amount of time to, like, compose myself, and I was like, so sorry, guys. Like, it was so random, but I psyched myself out, and it was embarrassing. And, of course, it's clipped, so, yeah, it's on my channel.
Oh, that is so sad. Oh. But I can understand that because, you know, you kind of have almost a rescue yourself. So, you know, you're kind of an animal person.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of things dying, and I don't do well with death. So.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Growing up in the South, seeing field mice all the time, I'm kind of used to. I don't like rats. I don't mind mice. Mice, I mean, you know, we would catch them and then put them outside. Like my dad actually, I remember my dad scooping one up in a cup and taking it like way out in the middle of the field and dropping the mouse out there and just, you know, because they'll come in and make homes and you just gotta clean it out.
But that's a nice way to deal with it. Just give them a new home. Like, yeah.
It's just they usually come in when it's so cold outside, at least here, or they're looking for water. But that's so that makes me sad. So I can imagine that being embarrassing, but as somebody who cries all the time, I'm used to it now.
It wasn't as bad after the fact, but it was, like, embarrassing because I couldn't stop. Like, yes. I was trying to compose myself, and it just kept coming, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And then they would ask, are you really good? And then I would just start crying again, and I was like, stop asking. Like, move on, please.
Oh. So, I have to go find this clip now. What type of games do you like?
It's such an ugly cry, too.
I'm in a glass case of emotion. Okay.
Yep.
Oh my god. So what type of games do you like to play and stream?
I like to be a variety streamer, but I like a lot of multiplayer games because I like to be very inclusive and I kind of feed off the interaction. And, you know, if I'm in a single player game, like I can get frustrated with it, but it's much more emotionally investing when you're in a multiplayer game and you get like those good moments where you're like, oh yeah, I'm meshing great with this teammate, or I met this random person and they're just carrying me and I'm just gonna get carried to like higher level, and then there's those moments where you're like, I hate this person. I'm just so ragey right now. Like, so I think I enjoy the interaction in the multiplayers, but I do play some single players. Like I like Stardew Valley. And I think Stardew Valley teaches you great life lessons, you know? Like, there was one friend of mine who had 2 girlfriends at once and married one of them, and then the next day gave a gift to the other girlfriend, and the fake NPC wife actually got really pissed. And I was like, well, duh, like, you should know better. And, like, I learned that fruit trees are expensive as hell. So when I moved into my new house, I actually went out on Memorial weekend, which is this weekend. First thing I did is I went and bought some fruit trees. And I was like, I got to start now. It's Stardew Valley. And, like, you have to buy your way into the community. Nobody's friends with you in that community until you've, like, spent enough money and, like, bought them gifts and shit. So I'm like, oh, the roads out here need potholes filled. So Eric and I was like, we were talking and we're like, hey, we'll just like fill the potholes and people will be our friends, right? And I was like, that's how it works in Stardew. So yeah, I'll play that game. But I switch around a lot. I get like on a kick on something for a little while and then I'll change it up and then I'll go back to it because I'll miss it. And so play a lot of League of Legends. So gotta throw that out.
Yeah, I've seen you play League. I don't know how you play League. I hate that community with a passion.
You don't seek out the toxicity? Come on. No. I play with friends. I try to avoid that a little bit. So, but
I mean, because I play Heroes, but I avoid it in Heroes because I only play with friends in Heroes. And since you can't talk to the other team in Heroes, you don't get any kind of toxicity if you only play with friends. I mean, sometimes, you know, we'll have randos and stuff, but because I'm in a group with friends, even if the rando is being toxic, we're all like,
you can gang up on them,
right?
You outnumber them, yeah, exactly.
We're like, yeah, you're cool.
We play HOTS too, but like HOTS is like the low key league,
so
it's like less stressful and less. I think it's less ragey, but I don't know. I play with mostly friends and viewers. Like usually they'll jump in and they'll help me out and they'll be like, oh, we're better at this game. You need some help, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Nice.
Like, as long as you don't get me matched with someone like that's gonna just wreck me and it's gonna be miserable. Yeah, okay,
yes.
Come
on. That, you know, I think that HOTS does a very good job at basically teaching you, like if you've never played a MOBA before, teaching you how to play a MOBA. Because when League first came out, I played it and I was like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing here. And I kept getting screamed at. My own brother was like, you need to do this. And I'm like, I literally just started playing this game, bro. I don't know how to do this game. And he's like, you need to go look it up. Later, he's like, I'm so sorry for being such an asshole to you. And I said, yeah, you shouldn't treat people like that, brah.
See, I intentionally drag my mods into my games so that I can, like, be extra salty and be like, all right, this is my day to give my mods shit. Like, my poor mods get signed up. Like, there's a panel that's called My Prisoners. That's actually my mods. Because, like, they don't have a say anymore. Once you accept being my mod, you're like, my everything. You gotta get pulled into the games. You gotta, yeah. You gotta help me with the tech stuff. Yeah. So,
that's awesome.
they definitely get their backs broken in my stream.
Yeah, I totally utilize my mods as well. I love you guys.
Mod Appreciation Day. We need to like implement that as a Twitch-wide thing.
I think that should be a legit thing because mods, they work hard.
Yeah, they gotta deal with the other side, the off-cam side. Mm-hmm. Like, why won't this damn OBS work? Like,
yep. Yeah, I had oh my god. So I really like I have actually, since I got mods, I've been my stream's been pretty low key. Like we haven't really been trolled too much. I got trolled a lot when I first started streaming, and then it kind of died down. And the other day, God, was it last week or the week before? It was recent. I was streaming during the day, so most of my mods work during the day. I had like one mod in the channel, but I'm usually pretty good at being able to just do my own modding, especially for day streams because those are usually creative streams. So that it's easier to go back and forth because you know how it is to go from a game to trying to mod your channel. Sometimes it's a little difficult depending on what game you're playing.
Yeah, well, these guys good at self-modding.
These guys got into my Discord because my Discord is open, and ooh. I went into my mod channel. I was like, be warned, I think we might be about to get a bunch of trolls in Discord. And they're like, all right. So they all like log in on their computers at work. And while I'm in the middle of streaming, these guys are trying to troll my Discord. And they're just like purging the crap out of Discord. And I'm like, holy crap.
Just like, I'm pretty sure a slaughter went down.
Yes. Because my mod, who was actually in the channel, she was doing all the work for the live portion and going back and forth between Discord and live. But it was tough for her to do stuff. But she couldn't do Discord stuff because she's not a mod in Discord, only on the channel. So I was just like, all of you get galleons, because that's my currency. I'm like, you get galleons, you get galleons, you get galleons. I was Oprah Winfrey that day after that. Oh my god, it was, yeah. So, Mod Appreciation Day, I agree with that.
Yep, make it happen.
Well, I mean, your mods are good, but then you have those moments that you're just like, damn, I have good mods. And that was one of those moments like, damn, I have really good mods.
And the great thing is, like, my mods know, like, to what degree I want it to be, like, allowed. I don't even have to explain it. They just step in. They know when to, like, okay, that's it. That's enough now. She's done with you. Like, they read me and they're like, she's done. Yep, you're done. Next. And the great thing about, you said you don't get trolled as much. I haven't been trolled as much either recently, and, knock on wood. But I when somebody does come in and try to say things or, like, make inappropriate comments, and, like, even my viewers are really great, and they know that I'm not real up for people trying to, like, get weird, and they jump on them, like, not just my mods but my viewers too, and I'm just like, this is a good group. I like this group. Like,
right? Yeah, it's a good feeling when you got that good community around you, man.
Yeah, really makes it like, I like streaming. I feel safe here. Thank you.
So what would you say is your favorite game? Well, this could be kind of a two-part question. What's your favorite game right now, and what's your favorite game of all times, if they're separate?
I don't think I really have a favorite. I think I have a favorite at times. Like,
okay.
It depends really on my mood. If I want to be alone and I want to play something late at night that's kind of low-key and I'm not feeling real, like, super... there are times when you're really lively in stream, and there are times where you want to stream but you want it to be kind of chill. Like, that's more like, okay, I'm gonna play Stardew Valley and then not go in the mines, because that makes me pissed off when the stupid mummies don't die. But
yes.
Other times, like, okay, I wanna really, like, have immediate game access and I want to be able to get into a group right away, then that's League of Legends, because it's easy. It's easy to get in there, get in the game, have it high action, and just enjoy that. But I wouldn't say that League of Legends is my favorite game, because I could drop it and come back to it, drop it and come back to it, and it doesn't really, like, phase me to a degree, When I was younger, I'm sure I had favorites, but, like, I don't know. I think I'm very phase orientated with games. And I think that's what's so great about video games is they're always coming out with more video games. So I'm like, ooh, shiny. Next game. Like, and then I'll go back and I'll be like, oh, wait, I liked this game. Let me play this some more. And then, oh, another game came out. Ooh, shiny. So, yep.
I'm with you. I can understand that a little bit. I do have a favorite game of all times that I always go back to all the time. But then I have those games where I'm like I'm kind of not in the Stardew Valley thing, but I do like Stardew Valley. For a while there, I was super obsessed with Stardew Valley, but I haven't played it in a few weeks because now I'm super obsessed with Don't Starve.
Oh, I like that game too. I've been in that game off and on for a long time though, because I had the early release to it.
Oh, nice, very nice. Yeah, it's I can understand that.
You have fun with deer claps, okay?
Yeah, we've already had one hit us on stream. My first stream of Don't Starve Together with one of my mods and closest friends. We had a deer claps totally wreck our camp and wreck our faces.
Like, woo! I almost made it through winter. Winter was such an asshole kind of, like season, but it's okay because I beat it. Deer claps.
And then deer claps. I know, God, that's exactly what happened. We're like, oh, we're halfway through winter. We're gonna make it finally. And then deer claps. It's like, oh.
It's like, okay, I'm done for tonight. Come back. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna start a new map. Yeah. This time I'm really set up for you, deer clops. Come and get me now. Wrecks everything.
Right? So would you say you have a main game or that you're more of a variety streamer?
I think it's definitely variety, but there are times where I will sometimes I'll be in ARC for long periods of time at the end of streams. But I do probably go back to League of Legends most frequently. That's probably the one that you'll see pop up more often in my stream. Yeah. And then I'll have in between, because I even switch games during streams. Like I'll go through probably 2 to 3 games in a stream, and then I'll stream anywhere from a couple hours to 6 to 8. One time I did almost 15. So
Jesus Christ.
Not very often for the 15 though, so don't come expecting that. No.
I think you had accidentally done a 12-hour stream when I came into your stream the other day, and you were co-streaming with Crazed Hatter. Mm-hmm. And you guys were playing Golf with Friends.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Hadn't you accidentally been streaming, or were you planning on streaming for a long time or something? There's some nights where I'm just like, okay, I'm staying up all night. I'm going to be alone tonight. All right, who's going to keep me entertained? All right, you're online? That's it. Okay, you can keep me up. I'm going to go get some snacks and some dessert. And, everybody makes fun of me. I'm always eating dessert. I'm always eating snacks on stream in general. But, look, there's, cookies right here. And it's, yeah, so I'll get prepared, and then I'll be like, okay, tonight I'm staying up. Who's with me? And I don't really plan those. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I know I'm going to be on my own tonight, so I'll stay up. But for the most part, it's just kind of oh, we're playing golf? Yeah, it's a quick game. Oh, yeah, we can have everybody jump in. There's a max of 12 people. We can have all kinds of people, and we can get other streamers in here. It'll be fun. We'll play for an hour or so because the games, are pretty short. And then, several hours later, we're still raging at yes. Golf. So several hours later.
It happens. Yep.
I want to get that game because when I was watching it on your stream, it didn't seem to chug your system quite as bad, because I've seen it on other people's streams, but it's really chunky and it seems to be really resource heavy, but it was actually pretty nice on your stream, and I could actually watch you guys play, yours and Craze both. So is it just a resource heavy game, or is it just...
I don't know. I wouldn't imagine it to be, but I think since it's not fully released, that it has a lot of bugs. So, people crash, and it'll bug out sometimes, and it'll lag out sometimes. So, it is a little bit hit or miss on, the quality. Gotcha. But I don't know that it's a big enough game for it to be, invasive into your computer. because you can download it in like literally we have viewers come in and we're like, hey, this is a $5 game. It downloads in like 5 minutes or less. If you want to jump in, go for it and then join us in. So I'd imagine it's not that intensive. And like for the $5 for how many, like we play it at least once a week, if not more. And we get in multiple streamers and we all let our viewers join in, and typically, and like Hatter and I play it all the time. And so we got our $5 worth out of it. So
yeah.
It's a pretty good game. We're always telling, like, Hatter's always getting on to people, get this game, get this game, get this game. And I'm just like, okay, more people. So
I didn't realize that it wasn't fully released yet. So that's probably what it is then. It's okay. That's cool though.
You got your hit and miss nights on it, but it's worth it.
I didn't realize it was $5. All right, I'm gonna have to.
Ish. I don't know the exact price. It's like $5-ish.
It's fairly cheap, yeah. And Steam Summer Sale coming up soon, so you know.
Might be $5.99. Don't quote me. I'm not. I don't work for Golf with Friends. So. and it's Golf with Your Friends is actually the title, because there's multiple golf games out there. So.
I'm gonna have to check that out. So. Since you're kind of I don't know how to ask this question since you don't really have much of a main game, but since you go back to League all the time, what attracts you so much about that game?
It's easy to like jump in a game and have your friends join. Like sometimes we'll have groups of 5 and 5, and all of our friends will do like tournaments where we, just beat each other up in the game, and that's always really fun and infuriating because like they'll put me on a team and I'll be like, you put me with all the weak links and I need someone who can actually carry me. Like, this is not fair. Like, I'll get matched against like Pyro and all my other friends who are like, high gold quality players, and I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, this is uneven. They're like, hey, we randomized it. You're on your own. And I'm like, fine. Like, but it's really fun either way because it's all friends and you can kind of customize the games. So, and there's a couple characters that I like. So I think that's why I enjoy it, just for the flexibility and the ease of, hey, I don't know what to stream right now. Okay, League. Like,
yeah,
makes it easy.
It is, yeah. That's kind of why I like Overwatch.
I like Overwatch too, but I don't enjoy Overwatch unless I'm with my friends. So League, I can play a game by myself and just try not to get raged at, because that's my only thing with League, is that the community can be really toxic if you're by yourself. But with Overwatch, like, I don't know, I feel lonely when I'm by myself in it. Just like, everybody's like, I need healing, and I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, hey, check that out, I saved someone. Nobody's here to be happy.
See, I don't know. I don't. Because, I mean, there's some pretty toxic, especially in competitive Overwatch, there's been some pretty toxic people, but I haven't experienced as much toxicity as other people, so I still enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it would take a lot to beat League's. Like,
yeah.
League's community.
League's kind of known for its toxicity, so
it's all like League's #1 in worst community.
Right.
But
it is such
I
a
just
pretty
try to
game.
look past that. Yeah, I try to look past everything and just enjoy the games for what they are.
It is. It's such a gorgeous game. Like, that's what drew me to League when it first started, but I had a hard time understanding the whole talent tree thing, but now after actually playing HOTS, I'm like, oh, I understand League a little bit better now, even though it's set up differently. So
I'll have to recommend that next time I drag someone to League.
I think
Learn it from Heroes of the Storm and then come to League.
I mean, granted, they do the talent trees a little bit different because you earn it as a community, you earn it as a team in HOTS versus individually in League. However, I definitely think that HOTS is a great way to start off with MOBAs because it is a very simplified version of MOBAs. And then you can move on from there to League and Dota and all of that stuff and get a little bit more complicated in those. Because I'm like, oh, now I understand what that does. Now I understand the purpose of that in League. Now I understand that. I'm still not going back to that game, but I understand it more now.
The MOBA's like view style was the hardest for me to get used to after being in like MMORPGs.
Yes.
Like that was the biggest aspect for me that I was just like, no, I'm not playing this game. This doesn't look right. And they were like, no, you're going to keep playing. You're going to keep playing. And after a while, I was like, okay, not so bad. Now I can handle the diversity a little more of all the game views. And it's kind of like Rocket League. The game view for that was hell. I was like, how are you supposed to do this? It's not turning. They're like, you're just turning yourself. No, I'm not. Took me a while. Okay, I got a little bit of a learning curve. Okay.
It's okay. I still haven't learned Rocket League, so don't feel bad. I play it with my brother, and he's like, I can't play with you, man. Let's go back to Overwatch. I'm like, yeah, okay, because I know Overwatch.
You're like, yes, all planned.
So this is kind of a weird question, but I like it. What game character would you say you most closely identify with?
I don't really have one in mind. I think if I had to answer that, I think I would just say my old PWI character, because it's an MMORPG. You kind of model it after a version of yourself in a sense. You know, I got to be a healer, so I could heal people. I like helping people. I like helping in real life. I enjoyed being needed. You know, that feels good. And I enjoyed that it could be a little passive aggressive. If people were rude, I could just let them die. So,
yes.
You know, it's a little bit of a control and passive aggressiveness that you kind of had. And I was like, I can kind of identify with that in real life. But to be fair, I also like went out of my way to get the highest level and like really expensive revive so that they wouldn't lose like any XP. Because I didn't want to cause like permanent frustration in them, but I kind of wanted them to fall out of the fight when they were being jerks. So I'd let them die, and I'd be like, don't worry, I got you. I got the top level res. You know, oops, I didn't heal you in time, kind of thing. So I guess
sorry.
I guess that would probably be something I could admit to.
Nice. So do you tabletop game?
Nope, unless, you know, you mean like I play my computer on a table. I play cards on a table, but I've never tried tabletop games.
That's the best answer to that question yet, man. I play my computer on a table. Does that count? That is great. Yes, it does. That counts. You totally play tabletop games.
Yay!
For that answer, that totally counts. That's awesome. Are there any games that you are super excited that are coming out soon?
I was excited over the Friday the 13th game that the streamers were doing in the early release. It already came out now, though, but that would have been the game I was looking forward to, because watching the early streamers, they did a good job making it like interactive and funny in the role play, and I was like, man, I want a piece of that. I want to kill people and hear them screaming for their lives, and like, I was like, this is fun. I want to try. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to getting now that it's out.
So you haven't got it yet?
No.
I tried to watch Miss DJ yesterday, and she was having a very, very, very frustrating time getting into this system, because it kept telling her that she doesn't have it kept telling her she couldn't log in or something like that.
Oh no,
so,
are there bugs they haven't worked out?
It seems so. I'm like, this launch seems to be kind of rough, so you may want to wait a couple of days. She's in chat right now. I don't normally address chat, but she's in chat right now. Servers on Xbox are crap, so don't get it on Xbox.
Well, luckily, like, we haven't found the Xbox yet from the move, so I can't right now. So
we don't have the Xbox yet. Okay, all right.
Yep.
Oh man, that's rough. Ugh. All right, note to self: do not get an Xbox, and don't get Friday the 13th on the Xbox. Score. Done. Works for me. I'm a PlayStation girl. I like the controls of the PlayStation for my hands.
Yeah, like when we ordered one for our computer, there's like Xbox style controllers and then PlayStation style. I went with PlayStation style. Yep.
Like my husband likes because his hands are massive, and so the Xbox controller for some reason he likes and does so much better with than a PlayStation controller. And I don't know if that's just the way we hold things or if it's the size of our hands or whatever, but I love the style of the PlayStation way better than the Xbox style. The Xbox style just makes me feel weird and makes me want to rage quit. I'm a console and PC gamer. I like all consoles. I just prefer PlayStation. So is there a game that you would want to have a reboot or a remastering of?
I don't know if it's been done, but lately I've been missing Zombinis. I don't know if you know that game.
I do not.
It's a really old, stupid, very simple kind of like puzzle game I played when I was really little. But it's Zombinis. Like, it's just fun to say.
I like those kind of games.
It's like, it's such a fun name too. You just can go around going, Zombinis! So like, yeah, I would play Zombinis again. I would play a lot of the old like PlayStation games too, but then I also feel like the nostalgia with the games that I miss, it wouldn't quite be the same if I replayed them now, because I might have outgrown some of them. So,
because some of them may not hold up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a Barbie game that I used to play on the Nintendo.
Sims?
That now that I think about, I'm like, man, I bet if I tried to play that now, I'd hate myself.
Nintendo would be a long time ago.
Yeah. And then Little Nemo also was a great game. Okay, sorry. Reminiscing. You got me reminiscing now. Dang. Zoombini. I'm going to have to look that up and see what that is. That just sounds great. Zoombini. So, okay, this is a part of the podcast where we get a little bit serious. So who inspires you to be the woman that you are today?
So I feel like that's kind of a trick question because, I don't know that I've grown up to be the woman I'm going to be yet, or like.
Do we ever truly fully grow up?
Yeah, like, woman I am today. Shit, have we reached that? Did I, like, miss something? Or, man, I thought I still had time for that. No. I think it would be, like, a lot of people were key moments in my life. Like, when I was going through rough times with a kind of a troubled childhood, there were certain people, and a lot of them were actually, like, strangers that just came through at the right time. And really like either inspired me or supported me through something and got me to keep going on the right path, and then other than that, it would probably be my childhood self. Like I wrote rules out and like all my morals and values as a kid, and I was like, okay, I know I'm going through a rough time, but this is what I expect from myself as I go through life. And I actually stuck to those rules even when I felt they were a little frivolous when I was older, because I felt like it was about respecting the time that I went through and to set those out when I wasn't, when I needed to set rules out for myself to get through a hard time. So I stuck with it. And I feel like sometimes it came through when you're like an emotional kid growing up to take that time, because I would set time limits. Okay, if you want to do this, you should wait in this many nights. And then if you still want to do it, then you do it, kind of thing. So
I'm impressed. That's impressive, actually. That's very impressive to... How old were you? I mean, if you're 25, how old were you when you set these rules?
I think I was somewhere between 12 and 13 when I started setting the rules for myself, because that's when things got really rough.
Yeah.
So I kind of made out the rules. I think I still have them somewhere, but I don't ever pull them out anymore, So I checked all the boxes as I went, and then I filed them away. So, okay.
Wow, I'm impressed. When I was 12, I had braces and a mouth spreader and was dealing with speech impediment. So,
okay, sorry. Cockatoo is like
cockatoo.
Like she's like trying to eat my feet or something. She's doing something, and it feels weird.
I think that's awesome, though, because setting those rules up for yourself clearly helped you. So what do you like about being a part of Girlstreamers?
Well, they didn't haze me. I like that I get to meet other girls that are like gamers, and everybody is actually really nice. Like, you get into those groups where you're like, okay, you're in a group of girls, this is gonna be a lot of drama. It's actually a really nice group where you meet people, and like, it's a pretty big group too, so sometimes I can feel like, oh man, that's a lot to keep up with. But other times I can jump in and be like, hey, I'm looking for, a friend or a co-streamer today, and you will almost always find someone that you can just, jump in with and get along with, and who's nice, and like, when I first joined, I like latched on to Hatter pretty quickly. And I was like, hey, you make really cool like art and stuff. And I was like, wanna be friends? And she's like, who's this little like and I was like, I joined Girlstreamers. And she's like, okay, and I was like, great, I'm adopted. So yep, and I never went away. And that's how Hatter got stuck with me.
I'm adopted. Score.
Yep, she calls me her Tamagotchi.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm like her digital little pet or something. But yeah.
So what keeps you so passionate about gaming and just the community in general?
Gaming is a much more affordable hobby for the amount of time I spend in it, and the fact that I get to stay home to enjoy it and get like my social needs and get to, go out and meet new people without the going out part. So it's actually like, even if you spend money on a game once in a while, it's way more affordable than if you had a hobby of going out partying or drinking or whatever. I can drink at home and get a new game for cheaper. So like,
it's true. This is very true.
It's a great hobby, and there's always new stuff. It's always got something to entertain you or excite you. And I like to try to create like new events. I'm always trying to come up with new events and tournaments and ideas for like the stream. So that keeps it kind of like hyped up and exciting for me and with the community. And then the community is just great. Like, I actually become friends with a lot of my viewers, and to the point where, hell, if some of my viewers wanted to like hang out, I'd be like, cool, like,
yeah,
like I make actual friends. And I just think that the community says something when you can actually connect with people in a way that I would have trouble making friends with naturally. They accept my quirks. Like, it's easier for them to look past how awkward I can be after they get to know me online. They're like, okay, we know what to expect with her, but we know she's not crazy. Like, at least not in the way that they wouldn't be friends with me. So yeah.
Nice. So what would you say is your greatest challenge or obstacle that you have had to overcome in your life so far?
I think that it would probably be like maybe a lot to do with my childhood, but without like going into specifics. Probably the fact that I didn't ever go to high school. So that made things kind of like, that kind of set you back a little bit, and it does make it like you're a little socially awkward. You kind of missed out on a lot of the in stuff or the ways that people grow up making friends and communicating, and then I'm just here, and people will talk about things sometimes, and I'll just be like, I missed all that. Like, yeah, I never had any of those experiences. I don't know what you're talking about, so kind of got that awkward child syndrome. But I didn't ever get to go to high school. I don't have a GED or any of that, but I have a college degree now. So it's a fun.
How did you go about that? Did you just take like courses that placed you into college? Like, did you have to take a test that said, yeah, you're smart enough to be in college, or?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, when I was 16, I wasn't able to go to high school for a number of reasons. And so I ended up testing into a college program that was supposed to be like a dual college, last year's of high school, first year's of college kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so I tested in and I made it. And so I got to go, and I moved out of one place and into somewhere else to go to school, because I was like, this is my way out. This is my way to making a life, and education was important. So I went for it, and then a semester in, they kept asking me, where's your documentation? Where's your previous high school? Where's your previous paperwork? And, if you were homeschooled, we need that documentation. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was homeschooled. Yeah, I'll get it to you. And, they kept asking and asking. And I was like, after a certain point, I was like, yeah, about that. I don't have anything. And so they kicked me out. And they're like, yeah, you can't be in this program. But somebody, I think a teacher reported, and this goes back to people who kind of inspired me to stay on the right path. Mm-hmm. A teacher reported it to the dean of the overall college, not the program. And she called me in and she's like, hey, I heard what happened. And she's like, I looked up your grades. You're surviving in the program just fine. So she's like, I am willing to put you into the college courses. I can't get you back into the program for high school, so you'll never have high school. But I'm willing to put you into the college courses and fund your first 2 years of tuition and your books and everything that you need to get you through so that you have a 2-year college degree so that you can go whatever direction you want and continue your college education from there.
That's so awesome.
She put me through, and she enrolled me in all my classes. She said, don't tell people your age. Don't tell people your story. Just put your head down and go to school. And I did. And I was very thankful for that. And so she was a big influence, and she was pretty much a stranger. We didn't even interact throughout the 2 years. But I didn't want to disappoint her, and I didn't want to fail her, and I didn't want her to not give someone else that chance. So I was gung-ho about if I did bad on a grade, I was like, oh no, I disappointed her, she's gonna be upset. So I was very invested in doing well in order to thank her, if that made sense. I don't know.
No, that's the kind of shit that makes me cry. I'm tearing up right now. Because teachers are so important, and they're so undervalued in this world, they're so undervalued in this country. And not to get super political, I'm so happy that you found a devoted teacher like that, because that's amazing. Holy cow, that is so awesome. Wow, man. That's awesome. Thank you, teacher, for being a good teacher. Whoever you are, that's awesome. That's so great. So I feel like I took 8 years to graduate college, man.
I probably took that long because I went through my master's and I went through all the PhD coursework too.
I just have a bachelor's. I feel like I wasted my college education right now.
I don't know, because I went through all my PhD courses, and then I decided that I didn't want to go into a field that would even use the PhD. And I was, it's wow, I have a lot of debt for, I'm way overeducated for a lot of positions that are not going to pay me for this level of education. So it's not always a good thing to go through really young and think that you know exactly what you want right away, because you can change your mind. And that's a lot of permanent debt to come with that. So, yeah.
That's why I didn't go after a master's. I was like, I didn't learn anything in my time at film school. Everything that I know is self-taught or found out through networking. Film school was a waste of my personal time, just because of the state I live in. So, I'm in debt up to my eyeballs, and I can't pay it back. Cause
you're in debt. You want to trade? I bet you would trade. Or not. No, I bet you wouldn't, but I would.
It's I
could buy a house or two.
The debt I have, I could have a nice down payment for a good house.
I could buy outright. I want a house, take my student loans.
I could pay most of a house payment with my student loans. They're not quite 100,000, but they're close to it.
Yeah.
And that's because I went to 3 different schools.
Did you have the out-of-state tuition?
No, I was in state, but my parents went bankrupt when I went into college. But because they go off of previous year's taxes, FAFSA said,
so you didn't qualify.
Yeah, I didn't qualify for any kind of help, even though my parents didn't actually have money. So I had to actually apply for student loans. So from freshman year to finally graduating, I went to school on student loans because I couldn't afford it.
Other than the 2 years that I got, after that it was all student loans on my own. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. So, but that's awesome though that you do have an education because.
Woo, debt. That's what it means. Every time I hear the word education now, I'm like, oh man,
debt.
that payment. Like, that's it's the association. It's just, yeah.
System needs to be changed. Okay, all right, I'm done. What trait of yours are you most proud of, and what is your greatest insecurity?
What type of what am I most proud of?
Okay, what trait of yours are you most proud of, and what is your greatest insecurity? I know the last half of that question is probably the easiest for everybody to answer.
Yeah, right. I think that I think you asked this question so that we can intentionally feed the trolls, you know? Because you just hand them your greatest insecurities. You're like, here, trolls. Yeah, take notes.
No, that is not actually why I asked that question, and I've never thought about that. But that's actually a valid thing to think about now for a future podcast.
I think that I like to help people. So that's probably what I'd be most proud of, is that I'm willing to help people. I'm willing to help pets. I enjoy the animals. I enjoy being there for someone. So guess that works.
Did you go to school for nursing or anything like that?
Clinical psychology.
Oh. Yep. Okay.
So yeah. You know. Anyway, I like to study your brain, but
you know, it is a fascinating subject, actually.
Yeah.
It is a very fascinating subject.
But it's something that when you go into, you know, you tell people, they're like, oh, so are you analyzing me right now? And it's like, it's not like that, but okay.
Well, I mean, everybody analyzes each other on some level anyway.
Right.
We all kind of judge each other anyway. So, yeah, technically, but not at the level you think I am, right?
It's not like I'm in your head. Like, right? I can imagine. I was trained to become a mind reader, and I just have this magical power now that this degree means that I'm going to invade your mind. Like, that's what I feel like some people give me when I say clinical psychology. They're like, oh. They're like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, and there it is.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to say psychology. I didn't realize how on the nose I was with the medical area. Yeah. That's why I was like, oh, okay. Yes, you really did actually go to school to help people, which is pretty rad.
Yep, which I do from working online now, but it didn't go in. I wanted to go into research, but it's pretty intensive and like it's very demanding. Your life is the research, so that's kind of why I stopped at the end. Is I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to go into research and give up my whole life. I've got other stuff I enjoy. So It's sad you have to make a choice between research and a life, because I think more people would be interested in doing the research and participating if it didn't take up your time constantly. But anyway. My greatest insecurity, I mean, I think everybody's insecure about their looks, so that's kind of cliche. But I think that I could say probably my lack of general knowledge or pop culture knowledge sometimes. I get a little lost, especially with the high school, and you know, I get a little awkward, and sometimes.
Well, that explains why you don't know Phil Collins. Yes.
Sometimes I'm like having a conversation, and I feel kind of stupid, like. It's like, okay, I have all this education. I know I'm not really, like, stupid, but sometimes I'll just be sitting there and in casual conversations I'll be like, wow, I feel dumb. Who's that? What is that? What? Okay, don't laugh at me. Like,
do not feel bad. I get that way all the time, and I get most pop culture references. Don't feel that. No, that's my greatest insecurity, too. Do not feel bad.
Like,
You are
I don't
not
even know half
alone.
the movies. Like, Eric, my husband, he makes me watch movies. He's like, all right, let's watch this movie now. And I'm
He's a
like,
smart man.
okay. He's trying to make me watch all the Star Wars. I fell asleep like 3 times the first time he tried to make me watch Star Wars.
Oh.
He's trying to make me watch the rest. I'm like, no, 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 no.
I like Star Wars. Wait, but which Star Wars did he start with?
I don't remember.
You don't even know. Okay. It's okay. Some people just don't like Star Wars.
I kept falling asleep, and then he kept making me rewatch the whole thing. And I was like, no, we already watched part of it. And he's like, do you remember it? And I was like, yes. And he was like, what happened here? And I was like, I don't know. And so he would make me watch them all over again. And I would just fall asleep. And I think it took like 3 nights for us to get through it. And I was like, I'm never watching a Star Wars movie with you again. Like,
Oh, that hurts my heart. I'm married like the biggest
apparently
Star
the
Wars
fourth
nerd.
one. Apparently the 4th one is the one I watched. So.
Okay, so he started you with the right one then. Okay, that's good. Man, that's so sad. So sad. So what advice would you have for new people, anybody who wants to get into streaming?
I think that try to communicate as much as possible. I have to focus on that a lot. Even when you're alone, don't be quiet. I get quiet a lot. People have trouble hearing me if I don't like actively project, and like it's tiring. Like I have lost my voice sometimes trying to be verbal all the time and project my voice, and I have to train myself on that. So I'm still working on that. So that would probably be the thing that stands out most to advise someone else. Just make sure you're working on that, improving on that, and then just do what you like. Like, don't let everybody make you jump around and dictate. Find something you like and that you're good at and make it your thing. Because I think there's sometimes too much advice out there to what you should do, what you should play, how you should play it.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy yourself. Like, that's my advice. So, yeah.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you completely on that. And I'm... The whole talking to yourself thing, that's hard. And I don't think you'll ever get used to that, no matter how good you do become at talking to yourself. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty good at talking to myself, just not on camera.
Right, right. Because I
I
talk to myself all the time. And half the time, when nobody's in stream, I'm talking to myself anyway, but I'm just not quite audible enough. I'm like, oh man, you stupid fuck, what are you doing?
I'll talk to myself and be like, oh, you weren't supposed to hear that. Oh, birds, please don't start saying that, because some of them can talk. I'm like, oh, no, don't repeat that. Like, that didn't happen. And then I have a deaf dog, and I'll just be talking to my dog, and I'll be like, hi, puppy, you're so cute, I love you. And he's just like out, like he's oblivious. So I'm very good at talking to myself. Like, yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. So I'm not even gonna ask this question since you don't really. Well, I don't know. I don't want to ask this question because you just got done saying you don't have a lot of pop culture reference. But so you can opt out of this question, but I ask it for everyone because you probably read. What one book and or one movie would you say describes you the best?
See, I don't know movies very well, but I did read a lot. But I didn't really read to describe or relate to myself. I read to get a new world, like, so I don't think I would say I related to one other than I read and wrote poetry a lot when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So I think I could relate to the poetry. I wouldn't be able to name like one particular book off the top of my head, but as for like the novels that I read them to have something completely different. So I wouldn't be able to answer that question. Like I liked mysteries, legal stories, murders, and fantasies.
You read
and
for
stuff,
escapism.
So. Yeah.
But there's like no book where you read it and you're like, oh man, I wish I could be this. Or I wish I could do that. Really? Okay.
Some of the stories, like, there were times where I would be reading and like if it got to a part that was depressing or if it wasn't going the way I would want it to go, it would put me in a bad mood. Like, I didn't want to be part of that. I would have to keep reading till it got to an appropriate mood that I could end on so I wouldn't be pissy with everyone else.
I've
done
that.
This book is angering me, and this book is depressing, and like, I didn't want to be a part of the book. I wanted the book to be better. I was like, okay, get to the good part. Like, that's why I don't watch movies that will like depress me very often or things like that. But like, I don't like this movie. Like, I don't want to watch this. So no, I don't try to relate. Nope.
So what are some of your favorite books that you've read then?
When I was younger, I really liked Dan Brown's books, like the Da Vinci Code series, Angels and Demons, stuff like that. I also liked all the law stories. I think it was John Grisham. He had.
Yep.
I liked that because he had. I knew it was an easy read that you could get into, and I could read through the book like super quickly. And he had so many of them that I didn't have to go find another type of book. Because they were all real similar, but they were all kind of different. So I just could go through book after book after book after book. And then when I was even younger, like I liked the Lemony Snicket series and things like that. So I watched the whole series when it came out on Netflix. That is something I watched right away when it came out. So yay me, right? It was okay.
I did not.
It was okay. I critiqued it heavily. I'm good at that. So
I didn't get into the Lemony Snicket anything, but I'm also a Harry Potter person, so, and they are very similar, and Lemony Snicket came out after Harry Potter, I believe, all at once, and I have issues with Lemony Snicket, let's just say that.
See, I would just pick an author, and if I read through the author's full book, I would read all the books the author wrote. Like, that's just how I worked as a kid, and that made it easy for me because I didn't have to go out. And it's kind of like now, if you finish a TV series, you have to go out and find another TV series that will capture you the same way, right?
Yeah.
That's books for me. Like, okay, I don't want it to do that. So I pick either like an anime that has 1 million episodes, so I don't have to go find a new anime anytime soon. Or I would pick a book like, oh, this author has written 50 books. Score! I'll just read through all their books. And that's how I kept myself entertained.
So did you read any Stephen King novels?
Not really. I don't do scary.
Okay.
I get, like, scary doesn't bother me in the moment. Scary doesn't freak me out. Jump scares don't usually get me. If they do, then good job. I get weird-ass dreams, and I already get, like, I already get messed up dreams that are, like, they're pretty creative, and I don't want to give my brain more ideas.
Gotcha.
Like, it doesn't need that. So I'm like, I'm good on scary. I don't need any more ideas for my head. My head's good.
The only reason I asked is because he's got a ton of books out there.
Yeah, he does.
You're like, yep, nope, not going down that route. I completely understand. I completely understand that. My husband's a big Stephen King fan, so he's like staring at me right now. He's like, "Oh, you're talking about Stephen King. What are you guys saying?"
Someone gave me a Stephen King book, and I started to read it, and then I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good."
It was be in the right mood to read Stephen King.
Yeah.
So, do you have any cool tattoos, scars, or piercings?
Nope, nothing to share. No.
That sounds ominous.
I could go all, like, I have emotional scars, but, you know.
No, I mean physical
everyone
scars.
Does. Okay, well, I had one on my leg as a kid. I tied my bike to my sister's bike so that I could go faster when I was little because I couldn't pedal very fast down the hill. And I fell off and held onto the bike instead of letting go and just falling off and got road rash and, like, skinned up my leg. And it made a heart shape on my knee, but it healed now. Took years, but it healed. So that's gone. And then I have one here that's not real visible, but you can, like, feel it. And it's actually a scratch from a bunny that I rescued.
Oh.
And somebody came up and spooked it, and it scratched the shit out of my chest. Now I have a forever remembrance of that bunny. So I feel like that was the most fitting scar for my stream because it was animal related. So. Yep. I will always remember you, little bunny. Always remember you.
I miss my bunny. Oh. Anyway. They scratch, man. Bunnies,
Oh, yeah.
I think bunnies scratch more than, when they actually scratch you, it hurts more than a cat scratch, in my opinion.
The scar is raised.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Their little claws are sharp as shit, man.
Yeah.
So if there was one person, past or present, that you could have dinner with tonight, who would it be and why?
Probably a relative that I never got to meet from before we like immigrated to America, so that I could learn more about the culture and get an idea of like the family history more and more recipes. Because I love to cook. I'm gonna start doing cooking streams soon. So that's been like majorly in the works, pending getting this place. So now that I have this place, I'm like, yes, cooking streams, gonna cook traditional recipes, all kinds of stuff. And so it'd be great if I actually like got to meet someone and learn how they cooked and how they did everything and learn more of the culture and everything. So that would have been fun.
That's nice. What's your family heritage then?
German.
Cool. Yeah, they've got. Oh, yeah, that'd be some good food to learn.
Just to clarify, I am not Japanese. I have people come in my stream. Are you Japanese? Do I look Japanese? No.
No.
No, I'm very white. Very, very white. So I get my screen name implies that, but it was from a like Chinese game, so a Japanese game. But no, I'm actually German. So
that's cool. Yeah, they got some good food, man.
Yeah.
They got some good food.
Kuga. So, I'm gonna make kuga. It's German coffee cake, but it's not actually coffee cake, and it's made with watermelon syrup, and they don't sell watermelon syrup anymore, so I have to make the watermelon syrup myself. It's so good.
Watermelon syrup.
Yep.
What? I'm gonna have to watch this. This sounds crazy.
It's so good. Like you either love it or you hate it, kind of food. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to try this. I love watermelon. So I have one more question, and then we can open it up to. We've got about 10 more minutes, and we can open it up to you guys in chat for the Twitch chat to ask questions. So go ahead and give us your questions. So what is loaded? Yes, locked and loaded. So my final question for you is: what is your strongest passion outside of streaming?
Well, pets. The end. I had
a feeling that's what would be the answer.
Yep. That was easy. All right, we're done.
We're done. Nice. Do you plan on rescuing, now that you guys have moved, do you plan on rescuing anymore?
I want another dog. I want a big dog. I actually want a 170-pound dog. So
wow.
That's probably next. I feel like I'm maxed out on birds. If I took in more, it would be actually under if we actually do open our own rescue. Mm-hmm. It would not be for our own personal. Like a lot of these birds would be considered like sanctuary birds where they have to live out their lives with us. I don't think I'd take on any more of that because I have to be able to care for them, and they all get along. All 10 birds and dogs all roam together.
That's
usually
impressive.
All day while I'm home and while I'm streaming, so you kind of see them in and out. You hear them all the time. So they are, they're a good group right now. Like, I don't want to disturb that, so I don't foresee getting more birds, but, you never know.
Yeah.
I always say there's a limit, and, there's not always a limit. So, yeah, but I could see myself rescuing other animals, yes. I have 3 acres now, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you've got some space for them to roam now.
I'm prepared.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mara says I don't know how she has time for that. I don't know how she has time for all that either. That's because doesn't every bird, like every animal you have, has a special like medicine or routine that you have to go through with them to.
A lot of them do have like a background story. So like I have a dog with seizures. I have a bird with seizures. I have a bird without toes. I had one that was sick who needed medication when he came to us. I had 2 that were bald, one that's still mostly bald. So like I try not to put too many pictures because we do get judged when we post some pictures. So I have to like put an explanation with the pictures of some of them. Hey, we took in this one bald.
Yeah.
So like they're in recovery, and we have a lot of before and after pictures, so that's always fun to post those because they can see that, you know, we actually have, you know, rehabilitated a lot of them. But yeah, they all take a lot of time, but because they all get along, they all spend pretty much every day. And thanks to being married to my husband, who's both accepting of the pets and who, you know, brings in his income, like I get to work from home.
Yeah.
So I get to put in the time to make sure that everything here is taken care of. All the animals get the proper amount of like interaction that they need. So they get their needs met. And I get to be the hermit that I've always wanted to be. And I found someone who is accepting, if not enabling, of my animal addiction. So yeah. Yep.
Aw, that's awesome.
Snow's crying.
Woo, who's crying? Who was that?
That's Snow.
Oh, okay. your poor bird. So we actually have a good question from Mirage Leonardo 84. I find myself enjoying indie games nowadays as opposed to what's popular because it seems like more time and creativity go into indie games. Plus, they seem to be saving one of my favorite gaming genres, which is the turn-based or traditional JRPG. What about you? Do you feel like indie games are better than most popular games nowadays?
Yeah, I don't know what a JRPG is.
I'm not exactly sure what that is either.
As for the indie games, I do feel like there is a lot of Snow. Are you stuck? Are you stuck on that chair? Did you get yourself into something? I do feel like they put a lot of work into the games, and there's like a lot of creativity. Like the artwork in Little Nightmares was amazing, but you also do. I think they earn the $20 with the amount of effort they put into that, but it also is only like 2 hours of gameplay. So for someone who's on a strict budget, you know, I kind of had to balance out, do I want to pay and appreciate, or in this case, I may have to wait for a sale to get that because it's only 2 hours of gameplay.
Right.
So I think it is give or take, but I do think that the indie games allow a lot more creativity to spill through, kind of like small streamers allow a lot more variety in. If we didn't have small streamers, we wouldn't have as many options. We'd only have the big game people.
Right.
So having a variety of streamers is similar to me as having a variety of indie games and big games. And I think that is a big influence. But I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. I think I like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go for the big games, sometimes I go for the indie games. And I just feel like that it just depends on the topic and the game itself. But sometimes you find some really cheap, really good indie games, and you're like, dang, you keep doing you. Keep baking those games. I want more. Like, so yeah, there's definitely, I think I appreciate the market, that's for sure. Japanese
role-playing game is what JRPG stands for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're pretty.
I've never played a JRPG. My first MMORPG was actually WoW. So I don't have an opinion on the whole comparing it, but I agree with you on, I think there's a place for everything, first of all. You know, the big games are there for a reason. They're popular. Everybody likes them. But I look at the game industry like the film industry. It's very similar in the way it works. You've got your independent industry, which is your indie film stuff, which I think you get a lot better. I do think you get a little bit better story base in the indie film market. Therefore, I think you get a little... So I think that kind of correlates a little bit in the gaming market. You get a little bit better story because they have the time to make a better story. But at the same time, the bigger stuff, the blockbusters, are entertaining as well. Even though their story may not be the best story, it's still highly entertaining. So
some people want the story, some people don't want the story. Like,
right.
I don't always want to have to go through a story. I just want to go in and kill people sometimes.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think there's a balance to that too. So.
Exactly. Because sometimes you want to just go and watch a Michael Bay film and just all you want to see is shit blowing up. You don't give a crap whether or not the story's going on because there isn't one that happens in a Michael Bay film. But his stuff is beautiful. No, I know you don't get it. Trust me.
Like, yes, I agree. I'm being led down a tunnel of pop culture.
He's known for making explosions with no story behind them. That's what Michael Bay is known for. But they're beautiful explosions. They're absolutely fantastic explosions. I love his explosions. So when I want to watch something mindless, I'll go watch films like that. But when I want something to make me think, I'll go watch a film to make me think. And that's how I do games. If I want a game that's going to take time, I'll go do that. Or I'll go play Overwatch where I just go kill a bunch of people. I love it. Yeah, there's my answer, because he did ask both of us. That's my answer on that. I think there's a place. I'm with you. I think both are good. It just depends on my mood, what I want for at the moment. Okay, Ariel rages. I just realized I'm shrugging my shoulders a lot today. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's because you're trying to focus on guiding me through the pop culture stuff. So you're all like, are you following? Are you following? I'm like, kind of.
I'm trying to quickly give you a rundown on that reference.
We'll go back to it later.
I have a lot of film references that a lot of people don't get anyway, because I'm in the film industry. So,
my sister would love you.
Don't be alone. Don't feel alone in that, because there's a lot of people who don't get my references, and I'm like, if you were in the industry, you would. Her, because I'm so famous. Not.
Shame on you.
Right? So Ariel asked, if you could be any animal, I like this question for you. If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Oh, something that lives a long time. Probably
a turtle.
Probably a parrot. There's a lot of animals that I really, really love. I think foxes are adorable. I think frogs are hilarious because they're colorful and they're friendly, but they can be poison. And so, I like hummingbirds. I like so many animals, but I think a parrot probably, if you're a wild parrot, you have the most freedom. You have pretty high intelligence. Cockatoos, the one I have, has actually a much higher emotional intelligence than some other parrots. So they relate, they bond, they pick a mate, they live for, 70 years. Some birds live for up to 100 years. So, man, I'm going to live a long time and be free and have at least some intelligence and fly. And so a free parrot. So just because, as much as I think my parrots are very happy with their life, especially now that they're with us and not with the previous situations on a lot of them,
right.
I think that a lot of parrots get taken into homes where they don't know how to accommodate for them.
Yeah.
So after seeing how many came from bad situations, that's why I specify I would rather be a free parrot, because I don't want to take my chances with someone else and hope that I get someone like my husband and I, if I got someone like my husband and I, then great. Yeah, you feed me, you play with me, I get free roam, I get a nice outside area. Okay, life is good. But otherwise, I'll take my chances outside.
So. I like that I said turtle, because turtles live a long time.
But then,
But they're slow, and they eat all the time. And hey, guess what? That's me.
Oh, maybe I should be a koala. We were talking about a koala being my spirit animal. They basically sleep, eat, and just hang out. That is my life. I sleep generally 13 hours, and then I eat all the time.
I like that your bird is screaming in the background. She's like, give me attention. Sissy Woo ask you, do you remember one of your dreams? What's one of your most memorable dreams, since you said you have creative dreams?
I didn't say creative. Well, I did, but I didn't mean cool. I meant weird. I had a dream where this lady was just this creepy little midget lady was on some podium box, and I was going into a place, and she was just come on in, and we're all okay, we're coming in, and then it phases out. And she's sitting on the box, just laughing, just eating her rotting face after that. And it was just weird. And then there's other alligators always eat my feet. That's a recurring dream all the time in different situations. Oh, I go to a pool, baby alligator eats my foot. Oh, I'm at this place and I walk across a bridge, alligator eats my feet. I don't know what it is, but alligators want to eat my feet.
Have you
So.
have you actually analyzed your dreams before? Have you actually sat down and tried to analyze your dreams?
No.
You don't want to know.
Stay away from alligators.
Because I'm into the whole dream analysis stuff, like, because I find the brain a fascinating thing, so I go read a bunch of stuff. Even though I can never be a psychiatrist or anything like that, because I just don't have the time or patience to go back to school. Although I think it would be cool to be one, to like be a therapist or something to help people out. But recently I've been reading a lot up on dream analysis and how the subconscious works, and like what makes, like, why certain people are depressed, like learning about the actually intricacies of how the brain functions, which is, holy crap, fascinating. And no wonder you have to go to school for it, right? Because it's complex.
I know I had one dream that was like a fire dream, where I always woke up right as I was about to die in a fire. And as I got older and started moving on with my life and getting in like a better life and everything, each dream every year, I had them once a year, I would be closer to escaping, and then I just stopped having the fire dreams, and I guess I made it out alive. So I do know that I used to be afraid of having a house fire all the time. Like, I used to have a big fear, oh, I'm going to die in a fire. That's what it meant. And it turned out like it kind of went away as my life changed, and it was more symbolic, kind of, like maybe I just felt like I was always in a fire. So like symbolically. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
So there is like subconscious dreams, and I do feel that there's things that, the fact that one was reoccurring all the time. But I don't know why I reoccurringly dream about my feet being eaten by alligators or a crocodile. I don't know which it is. It's one of the two. I know an arc. Okay, the alligators always eat me, so that's a problem too. Like.
Maybe that's why you're having those dreams.
But this arc came after. Like, I've been having dreams of alligators eating my feet since I was little.
Maybe it was a premonition dream.
Oh, God.
It's like you're going to get eaten by alligators in a game.
Yeah, over and over. I don't go in the swamps anymore.
Do you know anything about X-Men?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you were an X-Men, Morrow asked, if you were to join X-Men, what powers would you like to help fighting evil?
Well, Morrow,
basically, what would be your superpowers?
You should know that I don't think I would be fighting the evil. I would be evil. No, I'm kidding. I think superpower. There's so many. Like, there's a lot of good ones. Power of influence is really, really, really powerful, and that probably goes along with my education. Like, why not make it real? People are already afraid. I can pick their brain and be like invade and read their brain. Might as well make that real, and I can like influence their brains, and then I can be like, okay, we're all gonna get along. We're all gonna settle down. We're all gonna bring me cookies.
It's gonna be peaceful.
Peace with cookies. That's all there is to it. But I don't know. I like the ability where. I love how some superheroes are just like invulnerable and they can just get hurt over and over. And I'm like, damn, sometimes I could use that, because there are times where I want to try shit and I'm just like, this could go badly.
Yeah.
And you gotta like not do it. Okay. But curiosity wants to do it. So, maybe curiosity wouldn't kill the cat if I had a superpower like that. So. Yeah.
Spoiler. Well, no, I'm not going to spoil it for you because you may not have seen it yet.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm not going to go down that route. But she didn't like Star Wars. Oh, you know what? That's basically what they do in Star Wars. That's a very valid point, Sissy. Very valid point.
Thanks, Sissy. You're helping. I'm never going to get away from having to watch Star Wars.
She would never agree to Jedi because of that. Yeah. If only she would finish the movies with me. That's the husband, right?
Yes. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. Make it worse.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that is, those are some, I think that's a great way to end the podcast. So where and
end
when...
on Star Wars? Why not? Okay.
All right, let's get a better question. Another question to end with. Nobody, really, nobody. Man, you guys suck. Way to help a girl out. Man.
Nope, no more questions. I already self-indulged everything.
Yeah, I guess so.
Zilla said, if you could exist in a gaming universe, which would you live in?
Oh, I totally missed that one. There you go. Yeah, if you could exist in a gaming universe, which one would you live in?
Probably PWI, because it was pretty. Got to be a healer. I could bring people back to life. Hello, and it was pretty. I had a 9-tail mount that I got to ride around on, and a pet little froggy that hopped after me, and pretty wings. And sometimes I miss that game.
I can tell.
And I liked the graphics. Okay, but yeah, it was a nice atmosphere where you could there wasn't a lot of fighting all the time. So I think I could survive in that world. As much as I would love more high action games to live in, the world of, I think I would die. So I think I'd be safer as a cleric in PWI.
Nice. There was actually one second question as well. If you could create a game, what would the basis be? That's a good one, Joker.
Shit. What would the basis be? I think...
Now everybody's starting to put in questions as I say we're leaving.
I know. I don't know. I've never really thought about creating a game. I think that I love having games where I have animals. I love kind of the stupid, silly games, like the cooking little games or the farming games where it's just busy work. And I don't know if you ever played Insane Aquarium where you get to fight off aliens in a little aquarium and mini challenges. I used to do that in between games, loading time. Stuff like that. That's fun to me. Oh yeah, let's just kill time.
All right. Well, that's we'll end there. I like that. Where and when can we find you streaming?
Oh, I stream most all weekdays, usually around 4 p.m. Pacific time on, at least till 6, if not a lot longer. However, I don't always get on time, but I do usually try to tweet now. I'm trying to get way more on schedule, though.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so very much for joining us. I'm sorry that you keep having to mute yourself over there.
Yeah, sorry. Snow is she's not satisfied with not getting attention right now.
Well, thank you again so much for joining me. This has been so much fun. You guys are awesome in chat. You've been awesome. Don't forget to check out our partners, Loot Crate, Fresh Designs, Punks Paragourds, who is actually one of our very own girl streamers, Simple Jerky, UN Racing Chairs, and Glom Tom. Links to all these amazing partners are down below in the Twitch channel, so please feel free to click. Thanks, guys, for all your support. Please follow us at Girlstreamers on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. If you have any questions or would like more information, you can visit our website at girlstreamers.com and contact us through there. You can donate to Girlstreamers via GameWisp and buy some super cool gear on our online shop at designedbyhumans.com/shop/Girlstreamers. You can find Kyo on Twitter at Kyountamed. That's KYOUNTAMED. And Twitch at twitch.tv/Kyountamed. That is KYOUNTAMED. Our next podcast will be June 11th with Ooft BBZ right here, same time. This podcast is a part of the Two Lazy Dogs Media Group and the Girl Streamers community. Encourage, support, grow.